Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to another Stamp Club reveal. This one is our original club for November of 2025. You guys, we're like 60 days from 2026. Isn't that crazy? I don't know where the time goes. It is just so quick nowadays. And I guess the older you get, the faster time goes, right? Let's talk about the Stamp Club. Are you a member of the Stamp Club? There's several things you need to know. Number one, as a club member, you get a discount code, a coupon code that you use in my store that gets you 15% off most items. And I know when I say most items, it make you say, yeah, but that means all the good stuff I don't. That's not really how it works. There are certain things we can't give 15% discount on, but it's very few. So you'd receive that 15% discount just by being a club member. Now, the other thing you get is you get a new, never before seen stamp set delivered to your door every month, and you don't pay shipping for it. You only pay for the stamp. So there's a club price for US and there's a club price for international, but we don't include shipping on that. We take care of the shipping. So these get mailed to you, and today is a reveal day. Every month I reveal the stamp set the day that it ships out to you. Now, we have a regular club, and we have what we call our original club and our scripture club. So if you prefer the scripture club, you can sign up for that one also. Okay, I'm going to put that information below. It's a great Christmas gift. You might ask somebody, hey, I'd like to have the stamp club for Christmas, and they could sign you up and get that. Okay, so this stamp, I'm always hesitant to put these kinds of stamps out because they can be a little intimidating. So what I decided to do today is I'm going to show you how to use the stamp set, not make samples for you. I could make samples off screen and then show it to you, and you'd be like, well, that's great, but I don't know how to use it. I'm going to show you how to use the stamp set today because I think you need to see that. It's beautiful, okay? It's basically a 3-in-1 set or a 4-in-1 set because it does so many things, but let me show it to you, okay? This one is called Poinsettia. Now, it says poinsettia, okay? It says poinsettia, but my mother always said poinsettia, and she did it on purpose, so I call this set poinsettia, okay? So you see here we have this black line image of a beautiful poinsettia and leaves. I should say poinsettia. Here we have the black line image of the holly, the berries, but then we have some layering pieces. And I want to talk to you about this because we did this in a very specific way and on purpose, okay? I know people struggle with layering stamp images. Unless there's a sneaky way to make it happen, people struggle. Sylvia has created this PDF for you to make this easy, okay? In your stamps, you'll notice these little dots in the middle. These are little up-facing arrows, okay? What she did was she made these little arrows so you could stamp them on top of each other. They don't have to line up perfectly. It's just to give you a place to know this is up, and this is up. And when you peel the stamp off of here, you can reference it on the layer, okay? So she made sure you could always reference it. So this is up, this is up, this is up, okay? And when you layer those, it'll come in handy. Now you're thinking, yeah, but that little dot's going to get inked. It is, but when she made the little center for you, the little center that you stamp in your flower, there's a spot that covers that up with your dark ink. Okay, so let's start by doing the line images, okay? So when you get the stamp set at home, if you just want to stamp this poinsettia and color it in any old way you see fit, you use the correct ink for whatever your coloring medium is, you stamp this guy down. He's absolutely beautiful. And you have a beautiful poinsettia line image, okay? You also have a holly leaf line image, okay? And I want to show you, you can take your holly leaf and you can stamp him multiple times. And then you can come back. I'll show you in just a second. Let me get him down there 3 times, okay? Then you can come here and take these circles, and these are your holly berries that live right inside here. And you can start either way you want to. You can stamp your berries down and then build around it. Isn't that beautiful? Now let me show you something else. You can take this holly, okay, and you can create a border with him just like this. So you can kind of create your own Christmas border around the page just by turning and twisting him in all different directions. And then come back in with your circle, okay? And you can add berries wherever you want. Maybe you don't want to do the 3 cluster. You just want to add a couple of berries here, and then maybe a berry on and off the page, and then maybe one hanging off here. And you can create your own little Christmas theme, right? Isn't that beautiful? So that's the 4 line images and how you could use them. Now let's say you want to create dimensional image or solid images, okay? Let's kind of do the same thing here. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you the holly and the berries first, okay? So little red ink, little green ink. Now what we can do, taking our solid images, we can kind of recreate this. I'm going to take some holly and stamp it down here, okay? And again, this is the solid image. Then I can turn it and stamp it here. Then I can take my solid berry and I can stamp it like this. Now, what I love about this berry, I'm going to bring it up and show you. I'm going to stamp 3 of them real quick. What I love about this berry is it has the highlight built in. Isn't that pretty? I just love that. So you can have line image, you can have solid image, but wait, there's more. What you can then do you see that I dropped my ink pad on the page? I get so excited about this and I have to slow myself down, and I didn't slow myself down in time. So look, we're just going to do that and cover that up. We just won't look at it, okay? Then what you can do is go back to your line images. This is the circle, and I can put it around my little berries, just like so. And I got to show you something. This circle is not going to be exact on the red. The reason for that, we wanted this to feel a little vintage. So I want there to be some white. I didn't stamp real well right there, but you see how there's a little bit of white still showing even around the red? We wanted that. We want that look for the vintage look, and also I wanted it for ease of stamping. So you don't have to be perfect when you line these up, okay? So check this out. You can take this holly leaf, and now you can line it up on top of your other leaf, looking through. I will tell you, I think this is easier to do if you stamp the color down first. Okay, this is a perfect example. I'm going to bring it up to you and show you. I got a good stamp that time. You can do this with a positioner or a platform. I just am playing, so I'm just going with it. But I want you to see this. Do you see how there is white still showing in our imagery? We wanted that, okay? I'll show you that on her printout, because the plan was you wouldn't have to have a perfect stamped image, and also we wanted this kind of vintage look where there's still white showing in the edges. So hopefully you can be comfortable with that. Again, though, you can stamp this whatever way you want. Solid, you can stamp it as lines, you can stamp it in this way. You also have that layered poinsettia, okay? This is where you can layer it with just the color, but you can do the same thing. You can stamp it in the layers, and then you can stamp this on top to get this image, okay? I'm going to do this one. I'm going to start with my outside piece, which is the green. Now, what I want you to do, I'm going to pull my stamp set back over, and you can use your stamp set or your PDF for reference, but this will fit on the screen better than my PDF. I'm going to look at my image here, and I can see that based on this stamp with my forward-facing arrow, this is up. Okay, so that leaf is up. So I'm going to turn this, get my ink pad, and I'm going to ink this up and then stamp it. That's going to be my starting point, is my green. You can start with any one. I just think the green makes sense for me to start with it. And I'm just going to stamp it here. Now when I do, that little middle arrow is going to stamp as well, and that's fine. He's just a reference, okay? So there's that guy. Now I'm going to take my second layer, and I'm going to look at my stamp set, and I'm going to look at that up arrow, and I'm going to make sure I have him going the same way. And the way I can do it is to lay it just like this. See how I can lay it right over top and make sure I am? So now I know this is up, and you can see how my petals line up. See that? So Sylvia tried to make it very easy for you to line up and for you to have very easy references for this. Okay, so let's ink this guy and stamp him. And again, you don't have to be perfect with this. It lays out really pretty even if you're not perfect with your stamping. Again, this will also stamp that centerpiece, but we're not worried about that. We're going to cover that up. Look, that's layer 2. Okay. Now layer 3 is going to be another color of red. You can do it in the same color. That would be fine. I'm going to do it in another color, and I'm going to go right back to my stamp set. And even though I want to show you this, yes, I am using a full stamp set, but the page that you peel these off of still has that imagery on it, okay? So I'm going to come over here and check if I've got the right way up. There's the right way. I lined it up. Okay, so that means that I want to stamp it just like this using that center reference piece. Okay. And when you get your head over it, you can see how the lines are lining up. It's so pretty. Look how pretty that is. So easy to line up. She did such a good job on that. Now I'm going to take some black and do the center. And what I want to show you is in this black center piece, can you see there's a kind of a darker blob right in the middle? That is to cover up your working in the middle there. You could even stamp this on a different piece, cut it out, and then pop it up and give yourself a different center. You can emboss this in gold if you wanted to, and you can layer this in. And there is a certain way it can lay, like if you want to be real picky and just kind of run it around to find it. There it is. You can lay that just like that. Stamp that in the middle, and look at our beautiful poinsettia. Beautifully laid out and so easy. Okay, so you can take your black line image and you can line it up, and you're going to see your colors. Oops, my nose is itching, sorry. You're going to see your colors underneath, and it's going to help you get that driven right into place. So my reds have just lined up really well. There'll still be some white showing. We did not make these perfect, okay? It's not going to be perfect. We made them where you would have some white showing here and there, but look how pretty that is to give you kind of that vintage look. So multiple ways to use this stamp set, just with your line images or with the layers. I just think it's so pretty. My favorite way of using the image myself is with the solid pieces, making the holly and everything, and then using these lines alone. I'm not as big on mixing them together. I love them separate. Now, on the product page, we don't always do this, but because of the uniqueness of this set, okay, on the product page, we have created this as a PDF. I think I told you this earlier, but I want to remind you. So you go to the product page on my channel or on my website for this stamp set, and you can download the PDF that I have here, and it's got all Sylvia's little notes and instructions to you, okay? I think that's really handy with this one, and I think you're going to love it. She even did some samples. This is an A2, and this is a mini slimline to show you how that kind of looks, and I love it. By the way, we didn't even talk about the adorable sentiments. That happy holidays is so pretty, and look at season's greetings. Love this so much. All right, you guys, that is your club set. Now, you know the deal. If you make a project using this stamp set and you post it to our website on our customer gallery, you are entered to win a $50 gift card. And you might have been the winner from last month. And to find out, you need to check the top line of the description below. Hey, thanks so much for being a part of our club. Until next month, bye now.